Good morning, fellas, and welcome to this week's watch list on spoiler-free Saturday. Today we're talking about Fringe. That's not Friends, that's Fringe. Fringe is a show that debuted in 2008 and ran until 2013 with 5 seasons of spectacular episodes. The series follows a detective by the name of Olivia Dunham. She works closely with a man who was recently released from a mental hospital by the name of Walter Bishop, his son, Peter Bishop, and a junior agent by the name of Astrid. I can't remember her last name. The team works together to solve cases for the FBI that are a little bit more out there. They're a little bit more science-based, a little bit harder to explain, and they're a special division of the FBI that focuses on these types of cases. There's one that I specifically remember where citizens of the city are basically having their faces melted in a way. Their orifices are like closing up with skin. It's like their skin is covering their mouths and their noses and their eyes, and it's kind of hard to watch. It looks like their faces are just like closing up and just becoming a flesh thing. That's one episode that sticks out in my mind, and it's a pretty good example of what this show is about. As the series continues and as the team investigates more and more of these weird science-y cases, they discover this theory called string theory, and that is the moment that I got hooked on this show. It's the moment that got me really interested in string theory and pseudoscience and things that may or may not be real, and alternating, interweaving timelines and universes and realms and realities and dimensions and things that shouldn't be possible, but there's a chance that it's possible, that there's an alternate universe for every decision you've ever made. But when Fringe ended in 2013, I was 22, 21. Time is fake. And at that point, I had not gotten emotional over a TV show. But when Fringe ended, that was a big deal. But again, no spoilers. Can't talk about how it ends or anything. But throughout the course of the series, you just get so connected to Olivia and Peter, and of course Walter, and Astrid. And throughout the series, they realize that what they're investigating isn't just random acts of science-y, unexplainable stuff. It's all connected and interweaved, and everything is part of a grander scheme, and everything starts to fall into place. At some point, everything just clicks, and you're like, oh, that's what's going on. And shows like that they grab me. Any show where you're just lost for a while, and then something super interesting happens, and then you start like paying more attention to the little details, and you're like, oh, I see what's happening there. That's my jam. And Fringe is a perfect example of a show like that. You start paying attention to the little details, and you notice how everything is connected and how it all plays a role in the main plot throughout all 5 seasons. It's very difficult to talk about this show without talking about spoilers. It's difficult for me to talk about anything without talking about spoilers. But when people ask me what my favorite TV show is, I say Fringe. Fringe was the most invested I've ever been in a TV show. It opened my mind to things that I didn't ever think about, that I didn't think were possible. And given they're really probably not possible, but the chance is out there. The truth is out there. Maybe there is an alternate timeline for every decision you've made in your life. Finding a way to access those timelines could be invaluable. We don't want to go break in the space-time continuum or anything. Check us out on #SpookyTuesday for an episode of TSAN After Dark. Check us out on Throwback Thursday for an episode of Retro Vault. Check us out next week on Spoiler Free Saturday for another episode of The Watch List. I'm Showtime, and Fringe is number 3 on my watch list. Stay dedicated.